Awareness, not an experience or practice. Questioner.
In the past few days, things seem to be taking a new course. I'm finding that concerns, worries, and even eager anticipation arise at times, but there doesn't seem to be much energy to pursue them.
Yes, this sounds right. Don't expect thought to be any particular way. Do not use thoughts as a gauge of where you are at. Basically, do not define yourself with thought. It is not that thoughts or emotions, even intense emotions, do not come up. It is just that you are abiding at a completely different level, the level of the ever-present being awareness. Let thoughts come or go however they please. They mean absolutely nothing about you or anything else really.
Sometimes I feel intense awareness, other times not so much, but generally there is an inner knowing that there is no point or need to be concerned about it.
There is a subtle unclarity here. You do not feel awareness, as if it were an experience, and it does not really come and go, although it may appear that way. Awareness is fully present and absolutely clearly known at all times. Just ask yourself, what is knowing thoughts or even the absence of thoughts? When you are not feeling awareness, what is knowing that experience? How can that experience even arise unless you are there knowing it? Just get really clear on the fact that you are that presence of awareness that is constantly and ever at the basis of everything that you experience. Don't look for awareness to be there or not there, to be clear or not clear, and so on. This will create a subtle imagined dualism. Your experience will seemingly shift as you latch onto conceptual definitions. So, what is in you right now that is present and aware? Does that ever leave you? Is it ever dimmed at any time? Even when you are totally in a cloud and in the pit of conceptual despair, you never lose your being. The awareness is completely present and free. Awareness is subtle. It is so clear that we tend to overlook it and pursue the thoughts because they seem more tangible and real somehow. Ultimately, they are just fleeting appearances arising and disappearing in the light of awareness. You are completely and fully that now. No practice or meditation is necessary, nor could it help to make the awareness any more clear than it already is. It is a matter of looking and seeing. It is pointed out again and again until it just hits you. That's what I have always been.
Yesterday I tried to foster a heightened awareness, but it just gave me a headache.
You cannot make it into a practice. If you try to, it won't work, as you discovered. Practices are in the mind. And the answer is not in the mind, so at some point, you just stop looking for it there.
It was like the contradiction that is built into any attempt to make awareness come about was so great that it hurt. I had to back off and continue to let the process unfold at its own rate.
Discard the subtle concept that there is a process. You don't approach awareness. You are awareness. There is no process to take you to your own being.
It can't be forced, it can only be allowed.
Just notice your ever-present nature and just relax easily into that. There is really nothing you can do to enhance anything because it is already your experience. You have just been looking in the wrong direction. So be convinced that the answer is not in the mind, and that anything you try to do to approach it is from the point of view of a separate person trying to get something that he doesn't have. Just see that that is all untrue.
So I definitely cannot do any kind of meditation except for self-inquiry, and the inquiry can't be expecting an answer.
It is tempting to try to turn self-inquiry into a technique or practice. Then you are off to the races again as a person who is now doing self-inquiry and, hopefully, getting closer and closer to something. Yourself, I presume. To me, self-inquiry is just looking to see if the imagined separate entity at the root of all seeking is really present. So, who is that one who cannot do any meditation? Who would or would not be expecting an answer? Does the ever-present awareness that you are need to meditate or inquire in order to be, to exist? Does the awareness that everything is appearing in and on need any answer? Just see that all actions, techniques, and answers would only be at the mind level. You do not need any techniques or answers to exist and be aware. Nor do you need any techniques or answers to know conclusively who you are. It is an intuitive and direct perception. for lack of a better word, that looks right at the core of what you are right now. You sense the presence of the life, light, being, spirit, or whatever you want to call it. It is just a presence shining at your core. Once it is pointed out, you get a taste of it. You cannot grasp it as an object, so the mind is befuddled by this. It is completely outside of the reach of the mental subject/object way of looking at things. Yet it is not difficult, because you are constantly knowing that all the time. If I ask, are you aware? Or do you exist? You instantly fire back yes, without even thinking about it. You do not need thought for this, so you can relax the attempt to use thought to know your true nature. Just see that right here, right now, something is shining within you, knowing these words and everything else. That is it.
I think that the main thing that has changed is that I'm not chasing thoughts around. I'm not sure why. It may be that I am slowly being convinced that there really is not anything to do.
Yes, that sounds right. As you see all this more clearly, you will lose interest in thoughts and stop seeking the answers there. It sounds like that is becoming your experience.
Previously, I would have a really great meditation and then think, this is it. This is the great meditation. Just keep it up. And then when the intensity would fade, I would get concerned about it.
Once you take the focus off of the mind, this kind of thinking and experiencing fades out of the picture. But awareness presence never fades. If you see that, or rather be that, the fading will not be an issue. And even if it does fade, how would you know it is fading? The experience of fading would be something you would be experiencing in awareness. Awareness is fully present knowing that, so you are right back in the awareness, which you have never left, because that is what you are. Who is concerned? Only the imagined separate person. Look to see if it is there. When you look, you cannot find it. In seeing its absence, the concern fades out of the picture, because if the cause is seen as false, can the effects remain? To me, this is real inquiry. It is not a practice. It is just looking out of a sense of natural curiosity to know what is real. Instead of getting wrapped up in the states and conditions, look directly into the supposed person who is having the states and conditions. That will clear up things quickly. But even so, nothing has really happened because you still are what you always have been, that untouched presence awareness.
Now I'm not really expecting to find the great meditation. I'm just kind of sitting back and watching it all unfold. Whatever happens, happens.
That is the way it has always been. Whatever happens, happens. There is no person in there making things happen. It is all spontaneously unfolding in the light of awareness. There is really nothing to do, or that you can do, because there is not anyone in there to do anything. You do not need to have the great meditation. That would be some future event that would hopefully deliver you into enlightenment or something. That is a projection of thought. Even though it appears to be a valid or even noble spiritual idea, it is still just a projection of thought. It is better to question the very concept itself. Questioning an assumption like this and discarding it leaves you in the state you are hoping to achieve in the future. This is just seeing that you do not need time or meditation experiences to be what you already are. This exposes the falseness of the conceptual cage of limitations we have built around ourselves. You do not have to do anything. Just see the false as being false. The rest takes care of itself.